Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. This is iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because you're going to start seeing something more and more often that has been sent to me that's a real disturbing sign, and that is banks that have no cash. So, lot to cover. You get a bonus video today. And before I get into it, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Make sure the bell notification is hit. And we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold, and I will talk about them later. First things first, guys. Taryn Compton lives in Australia, and she is renovating her house. And she decides that she needs cash to go pay the contractors and different, handyman and people working around her house, and to buy materials, and so that her contractor can buy materials. She goes to the bank to get out $3,500, and they're like, "Oh, we don't do that anymore." ANZ Bank. What do you mean you don't do that anymore? I need cash. We'll go to the ATM. Well, I left my card at the house. I just have my ID, so I just want to pull it out of the account. Oh, we can get you a temporary ATM card. So they issue that, and it doesn't work. Sorry, we don't know what to do. So you can't get cash. Wait a second, I can't get cash out of my own account. Well, we don't do cash over the counter anymore. So ANZ Bank in Australia and New Zealand does not do cash anymore. And this is very disturbing and very alarming because you're going to see this trend happen more and more. Now, as multiple people sent me this, they're like, "Dan, can you look into this and see if this is a trend that's coming to the United States? It's coming to the UK. It's coming all over the place." How about this scary stat I just found out 20 minutes ago? 1 in 8 bank branches in the UK are going to go out of business. So don't get comfortable with your existing bank, because the high likelihood that they're not going to be there 6 months from now is just that. They won't be open 6 months from now. Now, with this story, think about this, guys. How do you live your life with the ATM money? Now, some of us have higher ATM limits. We talked about this 2 years ago, and how you need to walk into your branch and get the highest possible cash withdrawal limit you can out of an ATM. Okay? And most people have $500 a day. Is what the high is, but I've had people write me that have 10,000, 9,000, 7,500. You need to get $1,500, $2,000. But even that wouldn't handle Taryn's problem. So Commonwealth Bank, as I started to research this, is opening up branches. They have branches in Australia. They have 741 branches. But the latest addition that they've done is that they have cashless branches. And we don't want you to call it cashless because you can go to the ATM. These are called service centers. What's the point of a service center? Imagine everything you can do online and talking to somebody on the telephone, you can do at a branch. Huh? What's the point of that? So can I get a wire transfer? At some locations you can. But guys, do you see the insanity of this? They're making it so it's going to be more and more difficult for you to get your cash out of your account. Now, I just went on that cruise, and my buddy who runs the cruise company was like, "Dan, listen, I'll put you on something that's really good, and you'll like this and you'll like that, but it's you don't have to tip anybody. It's tipless. Well, what does that mean? Well, I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that okay, if you do something, you handle something, I'm going to give you some cash." So imagine not being able to get cash for things like that. Now, he had a schedule then. Oh, if you want to do that, here's the schedule. You give these guys $1 that bring your drink over. You bring these people $5, they get you your table. And if they handle your luggage, you give them 20, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So had it all set up and all scheduled and all done during that time. Now, imagine I don't have cash. How do you tip somebody if you don't have cash? It makes no sense. You can't do it. Gosh, there's a lot of squirrels out here today. I am outside the library. I wanted to pull over, and the lake looks kind of nice. But this is crazy. So Commonwealth Bank, ANZ Bank, all these banks are going to a world where you don't have cash. And guys, this is the problem with the digital banking. You can sit there and say, this is the future, this is the way it's going to be. It's control. Think about this. How does Taryn pay those guys? Let's say she got a smoking deal on getting the house painted or drywall getting done, and these guys only want cash because they don't take credit cards or they don't take a check, okay? Well, You know what I mean? It's going to create a problem. But when you have banks that are advertising this, this is a real problem. It's a real problem. So let me know about this, but this is going to be worse and worse and worse as it gets over here. And Commonwealth Bank is, we're denying that we're cashless. We're not a cashless bank. We're just a service center. And you have to differentiate between having a branch and a service center. What you're going to have is different branches that will handle wire transfers, different branches that will handle cashier's checks. It's great to pay people by cashier's checks. If you've ever written somebody a check and they've held on to it for a week, a month, 2 months, here's your cashier's check. Have a nice day. Oh, you lost it. Well, let me get you a copy of that, and good luck getting it replaced. It'll take 90 days. And I know that for a fact because that's what it takes. So needless to say, it's kind of muddy and murky out here. This is going to be a problem, and you're going to see this happen more and more often as we move forward to a cashless society. And nobody wants to talk about a central bank digital currency, but this is happening on a global scale. So let me know what you think about this, because I think it's awful. And I think that you have to have cash, you have to have multiple bank accounts. Now, what Taryn did was they said, you can transfer the money to a different bank and then you can go withdraw it. But when you do that, it's not instantaneous. It's like you transfer money from here to there, and then you have to wait a couple days, and then after they do that, then you can go pull the money out of the bank. She transferred 100% of the money out of that bank, so she didn't have to deal with them ever again. That's what you're gonna see. So more and more people are fed up with stuff like this, but you're gonna see this. But this is a problem, and you're going to see this happen more and more often. We have more and more problems, and I am telling you, if you saw my email that come through Friday night, Dan, this bank is down, this bank is down, this bank is down. And everybody thinks, okay, this is it. This is the kiss of death. This is how this is all gonna end, is on this Friday night. So correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know what you think about this. But these cashless banks are a joke. It's one thing if you sign up for an online bank, an Ally, a Discover Bank, Capital One, any of those online banks, that's one thing. Because even if you go to a Capital One branch, they have coffee and things like that there. They don't have cash there. It's not like, they could get robbed or anything like that. There's no cash in those locations. They will take your deposit, and even that, it's a digital deposit. If, you want to put cash in the ATM, go ahead, but there's a cash limit on what you can put in these banks. You just can't walk up and put 80 grand in your bank. Do you know what I mean? So let me know what you think about this, and share your thoughts, because this is the wake-up call. Have multiple bank accounts, guys. Credit unions, multiple, even if you have just a few $100s in there, and you could transfer things out. Because what's going to happen with all the digital banking, biometrics, and your handprint, face print, eye print, everything that they want, it's going to make you, so I don't want to deal with this. Okay? And it's, for some reason, it's happening more in Australia to start, and the UK. All these reporters, all these people that follow the channel have sent me different information and how sick they are of this. So let me know what you think about this. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. Think about this. It has been 14 years since we've had a recession. This is the longest span in our history since they've kept these records, since the S&P 500 started. You have to look at all the signals that are around us, and the biggest recession indicator is just flashing red, and that's the inverted yield curve. Protect yourself today. Call Patriot Gold and find out about an IRA or 401k that's backed by physical metals. Call them before it's too late. 888-330-1431. Get a free investor guide. It's absolutely no obligation. They have the no fee for life, 401k, IRA. Check it out today, but contact them before it's too late. Look at what UBS says, JP Morgan says. They say that we're going to see gold hit record highs. You don't want to miss out on this. Do it now before it's too late. Contact Patriot Gold. It's absolutely no obligation. Call them today, 888-330-1431. Let them know that Dan from iAllegedly sent you, and find out about precious metals in your retirement. One thing that used to be recession proof was healthcare. And Cano Health out of Miami, a physician group, they just filed for bankruptcy protection because they can't afford the interest that they are paying on the debt for their locations and their equipment. So have to restructure, have to file bankruptcy. Now, this is the sign of the times, guys. This is how bad things are right now when even healthcare is not making it right now. Plus, the other thing that they're also experiencing is that the insurance companies don't want to pay right now. They want to pay as little as possible to these doctors for services that they used to fleece us for, okay? So, again, when I had medical conferences, there were certain things that you could get into. One term that I had to learn was called reimbursement. Who's going to pay for this? Will it be reimbursed by the insurance company? If it's reimbursed by the insurance company, that's the golden ticket, guys, because these are services that once we charge the patient, the insurance company is going to write us a check. And now you know what the insurance companies are doing? Oh, wait a second. Is this necessary? Is this needed? Who can afford this? Do you know what I mean? That's what they're experiencing. Now, we've all seen these experts step forward and say, hey, there's going to be multiple rate cuts in 2024 and 2025. And David Doyle, he was a guy who called for 9 rate cuts in 2024. He did that 2 months ago. He says not so fast. I really think that we've got some issues with the economy. And before we do that, I see that we could just have 2. In 2024 and 2025. Well, is that 2 each year? No, that's 2 total. So for those of you that are sitting there waiting for, these rate cuts to come out and just have, free love and free money, it's not going to happen. But you have a guy like David Doyle, read the story below because it's great. This is not going to happen the way that everybody thought it was going to happen. These guys are loud, okay? So, what do you think? You think there's going to be this many rate cuts? I don't think so. When I talk to people like Jack and Bob, and I'm getting Bob back on the show now that we've had Jack, and we'll have him clarify everything for you guys. But this is the sign of the times, guys. It's time to be real. It's time to deal with banks that don't have cash, okay? It's time to deal with companies that are not getting paid back. Think about this. UPS just announced 11,000 people getting laid off, 11,000 more. And that's because these management jobs are going to be taken over as a result of AI. How crazy is that, guys? How crazy is that? And this is not just the drivers, this is people in the offices. Again, I'm blown away that how many people work for these companies. If you had to guess how many people work at UPS, would you say 11,000 people? No, it's just a small percentage of the company. So they're laying these people off right now, and you're going to see these huge changes in the economy right now, and you're going to see more and more layoffs. And don't forget that site I talked about over the weekend. I loved that. Layoffs.fyi, guy that has a startup set this up, and he is keeping track of all the tech layoffs and just the tech sector. So UPS is not going to be in that, but it will lead you down, the journey to find out all the other layoffs that are happening right now. So big week as far as earnings. You're going to see more and more people announcing their earnings over the week. You're going to see more and more inflation numbers. And we're supposed to, believe that everything's just perfect. So get ready for a perfect economy, guys. I love stories like this. First National Bank of Pennsylvania got fined by regulators in North Carolina, out of Charlotte and Winston-Salem. And what they were doing is they were redlining customers that were Hispanic and black and did not qualify them for loans. So people started to notice this, people kept records, and guess what? They got nailed. Isn't that great? Isn't that fantastic? They had a $13.5 million fine. Oh, okay. Guess we won't do that anymore. Let's hope not, guys. Let's hope not. So, next thing you're seeing is tons of wire theft at charging stations. Think about this. You are in your Tesla. You're riding. You've got to charge. You've got 44 miles left. Oh my gosh. 32 miles from here is the next charging station. We're going to make it. Thank God. You get there and thieves have stolen the cables because of the copper in them. That is crazy, guys. Great story that was sent to me about that. And guys, it's getting nuts because they're stealing more and more things that we never thought that they would steal. And now it's the cable. I'm telling you, you're gonna hear about people getting robbed at these places. I think that they are very dangerous, myself and people that sit there. And Malay or Millette, anyway, she sent me something about, we talked about coupons and seniors not being able to get access to coupons. And she found a great article out of AARP talking about this. If you know anybody who's older and they have a smartphone, hook them up with these coupon sites and things like that you know are reputable, that if these people shop and they like to go out, show them how to open the apps, because so many people, you know, are paying full price and the stores aren't going to sit there and say, oh, hey, you know, you can save, you know, you can buy one, get one free on that if you use the coupon out, you know, online. People don't know how to do that. So she sent me an article about how all these people are getting cheated out of this and no one's helping them. So do what you can do to help these people with this, because this is just tragic, guys. People are getting taken advantage of left and right. So this is the sanctuary for all the plants and everything. It's nice after it rains. It's really a nice area. So let me know what you think about this so far. Is this a big deal for a bank? I'm going to finish this video with these last few stories. Goldman Sachs was accused of market manipulation with certain things that they were selling. And between 2009 and 2023, they were accused of market manipulation and got a fine for $512,000. Is that like you and I getting a $50 fine? Does that deter Goldman Sachs from doing that again? I don't know. Okay. 3 heavyweights that I've talked about before, Jeremy Grantham, David Rosenberg, and Jeffrey Gundlach, have all stepped forward and said, do not pay attention to what's happening in the economy and that the stock market's at an all-time high. It is going to take a turn for the worse. They've all 3 said that the same thing, and somebody had the sense to put them all in the same article, which is great. Take a look at this, because it talks about just how this is not, this exuberance that everybody has is not real. You need to protect yourself. You need to get ready, and you need to understand that this is not going to continue with this. And the final thing, we talked about Super Bowl yesterday, and one thing that was very interesting was people start sending me what things cost. And the liquor, oh my gosh, what people were paying for to get a bottle of booze for $1,000, something that's $20 is insane. So read that story below. It's you know, it's weird is people go on vacation, people go to certain places, and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to pay this just because they can. And I think it's nuts. So please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you want to email me anything, it's hello@iallegedly.com. Join our email list, because we've got one coming out later on in the week. And onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon.